really wasn't a problem for me then. It was, you took it to get by, and you weren't abusing it. But for me, the only thing I had ever taken in my life, I never took a drink until I was 18. I have never even seen a drug. The only thing that I ever took for pain in my life was prescription medication. So when I was completely in pain, whether it was physically or emotionally, the only thing I knew that could cure that was prescription medication. So that's what I felt. I'm lucky that for me, I didn't go to another place. So it's all about the person's position. When it goes to the football aspect, I really couldn't answer you truthfully,
sure,
other than it does, play a part of you getting by week to week.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is how much are you responsible for where you ended up?
Oh, I'm completely responsible myself, because I wasn't. It's all on me. I can't blame anybody for where I've gone. When it comes to that stuff, it was my decision to take it, and when you become psychologically addicted to it because you feel like you need it to, get by day, it's all on you, and you wish you would have had some people to help guide you. But you find yourself, you isolate, and you just walk away and put on a proud face and tell everybody everything is okay. I got this great job going on, coaching champions. We're winning. When you're just really not feeling well at all with yourself, and it's all about how you feel about yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't do that to yourself.
Are you, at Ryan Leaf joining us, are you able to look back at the 97 season and at this point in your life actually understand what it was and enjoy it and really kind of, look, as for all of us that are Cougar fans, I couldn't care less what you did in the NFL, to be honest with you. I really couldn't. I mean, you took a team that just hadn't been there ever in 60-odd years since football was way different to a Rose Bowl. I think most of us are, and that's probably why you still have a lot of bonding with Cougar fans, is because, you and that team carried this school to some place it never been before, and we didn't think we'd ever get back there until Guest did it again, and it seems like so far away right now. But for you personally, going through whatever you went through that year, and it must have been crazy because, you're a superstar from Montana on a college campus, going to a Heisman presentation, all those things that come with it. Are you able to sit back and say, God, I wish I would have done this differently, or I can really look back and say, I really enjoy it now?
I tell you what, my best part of my life, and I'm 33 years old, was those 3 years there. And that year, it's hard for you to understand it because you're in the experience, you're in it, and so you don't see the effect it's having on other people. And now that I'm older and I'm not so self-involved and feel like I'm entitled or at all, I listen to these men and these women, Cougar graduates, who tell me stories about that year and the experience they had, and it's so heartwarming, and it humbles me and makes me feel like I did something and I contributed something valuable to their lives, and that makes me so happy. And I will continue to embrace that with them in Cougar Nation, and I just want them to know that was my favorite time in the world, what I did there, and I would never give it up for anything. I don't regret anything we did there. I regret I didn't stay another year. That's the biggest regret I have.
A couple more things for Ryan Leaf. One would be tell people what you're doing this week, because I heard that you're actually not leaving Amarillo right away.
Yeah, I was planning on just taking off right away today, and one of the nicest compliments that I could have received today was from the judge in my hearing. He asked me to stick around. He mentors and chairs a drug board for kids and young adults on Friday morning. He's asked me to stay and speak with them on Friday morning, and it was really the nicest compliment, and I was more than willing to stay through Friday and do that before I head back up north. So I'm going to do that, and like I said, if I said something earlier this morning that if I could be a face on this, then okay. If I can contribute something out of a negative situation, then okay, I'll do it. I'll talk to people. I feel like I'm a very good speaker. I've been doing it for years, and I feel I can walk into a room and command an audience, and I'm going to have this great story to tell. I don't believe there's any role models anymore. I think everybody's flawed, and we're finding that out day to day. I think that you find people that have stories who have gone through struggles and are able to teach youngsters or young adults what not to do and maybe help them get through situations that they also went through themselves. And that's all I'm going to try to do from this point on. I mean, like I said earlier, too, I'm closer to 40 than I am to 20, and my perspective on life has completely changed.
I wish you wouldn't keep dating yourself like that, because I graduated at 10 years after you got to the Rose Bowl, so I'm feeling much older right now. Final thing for Ryan Leaf, of all the things that have been said, talked about, and your name being used over the years, what would you like to have people know you as, remember you as, and what would you like to tell people now about Ryan Leaf all these years later, especially with today's proceedings and you've got an opportunity to kind of change things and move ahead? What would you like people to know about Ryan Leaf today?
Well, I just stayed quiet for so long. I thought if I stayed quiet, it would just kind of go away. And contrary to what people believe, I loved this game since I was 4 years old. And for me to walk away from it at 26 years old was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. And people don't understand that. They think it just, it was easy or something. And I had never failed at football, and that was going to be the problem in the pros. And the Chargers were told, I was tested, and they said that, he's just not ready yet to fail. And we had a great game plan going in to be successful and win, but when we lost, I had never lost, and I did not know how to handle it. And I didn't handle it well. I'd never failed at anything, and when we started to fail, I just proceeded to act the same way that I always had, and that was to get defensive and protect myself the only way I knew how, and was to be as defensive and as strong as possible and do everything myself. And that just doesn't work at that level. It can't. You need help. You need people around you, and I totally failed at that part. I just wasn't ready to fail, and I didn't know how to do it. And it makes you grow up in a hurry, and my wrist was done in 4 years, and I couldn't compete at the level that I could anymore, but I was so beat up. I was just tired of being beat up by everybody that I just wanted to run and hide from it, because I wasn't going to be able to compete at the level that I needed to compete at, and I was just tired of being beat up. And I hope people understand that it was very, very hard for me to walk away, and I am very truthful when I say that I love football, and I love Cougar football, and that's what I've always been and what I will always be, I think.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about that anymore or run away anymore. I think people will accept you, at least those in crimson and gray, with open arms, and not only accept you but also encourage you, and hopefully give you a lot of support in the years to come. And I know this wasn't easy today, and I really appreciate you coming on. And I know you've got a great audience here in Seattle and a hell of a story to tell. And you and I both know the proof will come over time. But the judge and the courts gave you that time, and I think it'll be exciting to watch, to see what you do from here on out. And I look forward to seeing you down the road. I look forward to seeing you in Pullman this year, and hopefully meeting in person very, very soon. But I really do appreciate you coming on today, Ryan, and really best of luck to you in the future.
Ian, thanks so much, and thank you everybody out there, Cougar Nation, all those people over at CougFan, and Paul Sorensen wrote an unbelievable piece today. You should read it. It brought me to tears almost. So. It's amazing what people who unconditionally support you will do when one of your friends or one of your partners or their backs are against the wall. So it's been an emotional day, but after going through all this, you allow yourself to be open to everything honest, because when you don't have anything to hide, you are as free to do whatever you want to do. So
go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Thanks, Ryan. Take care.
Thanks, Ian.
Ryan Leaf joining us, 1:39. We'll take a bottom of the hour update and come back with more on 950.